So which works better, a counterbalance of information, or just people telling you the Bible says no, the Quran says no? And these are very important reasons. Nobody is discountenancing that. But what role does knowledge, being able to know for sure what the pros and cons are, understanding it clearly, what do you think would work?
For me, I'll agree with you about the counterbalance of information. But the thing is that there is more bad out there than there is to the good. And the people are projecting more of what this thing wouldn't do than what it actually does. They tell you that smokers are liable to die young. They don't tell you that it's carcinogenic. They don't tell you that when you inhale just that tiny stick of cigarettes, you inhale so amount milligrams of tar, so amount of this, so amount of this, and this is what this can do to your body in the next 20 minutes. This is what it can do to your lungs in the next 10 years. They don't tell you all that because they are still trying to sell their products, and nobody is trying to sell his. You can't tell me that you don't sell a car. You tell me that if you buy my car, after some 2 days you get break down and you have to take it to a mechanic. Nobody will tell you that. So it's just basically they project what they want their product to look like, but they don't tell you what the after effects are going to be. So, and most people are just, they just want to be ignorant of the whole thing. They just don't care. Man, whatever it does, I just want to take this. For
you, you said earlier that when you started studying, you knew. Yeah. What would you say was the singular most determining factor to your turnaround, to giving up the
Well, I read stories of a whole lot of people, and it's kind of changed me. This site is basically for people who are addicted to, there's this drug, it's popular in the US, it's called meth.
Meth,
It's basically about a whole lot of people.
So let me stop you. So what helped was information, wasn't it, for you?
Yeah, it was.
Number one, how did you realize you had a problem?
Well, I was doing things that I wouldn't do normally, and, well, my family was noticing, and I was always denying it. And I found out that I was just piling lie after lie after lie after lie. And when I actually sat down to look at myself, I was like, come, on a very good day, I won't do this. But I was doing it. I was very violent. Anything, as in, it just kind of changes your whole personality. Everything about you just seems to change. And you don't notice it because it's you. And if they try to tell you, you think maybe they are being too hard on you. They're trying to tell you what to do and everything. But when you actually sit down and look back, you find out that you have actually changed.
Right.
You have actually changed.
So you realized because of your change, you realized that your personality had changed.
Yes.
But to be able to turn it around, you used information.
Yeah, I did.
You know, you had to go and find out. You understood now what was happening to your body. Yeah. And then you determined that you were going to do something about it. I mean, I applaud that because it's a very tough thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah, it was.
I will come back to how you actually managed to do it. But, you know, the point I'm trying to make here is the power of information, counterbalance. And you said it then, that, you know, the people who want to sell it, because it sells. You know, I mean, in some parts of the Western world, for example, you can't even smoke publicly anymore as a law. Yeah. They don't allow it. You can smoke privately. It's up to you, because it's a personal decision. You might want to smoke. I don't think people should be held back from doing what they want to do as long as it doesn't affect other people, which is why they are now using the law to stop them affecting other people, with, for example, smoking now. But what you said, which is key, is that you had counter information. Yeah. You knew for exactly what the other side, so you could take your own decision. You could take your own decision looking at the two. It's not as though it's easy, but at least there's some. Do you think that in the issue of, and it's in everything, but let's narrow it down to the issue of alcohol abuse, drug abuse, that young people get enough counter information, and who is responsible for providing that counter information, in your opinion?